more of the books of signs. When everything is happening around the world at this point, it seems like World War III is just beginning. So, reading books of signs by Dr. David um, Jeremiah, and this is what he wrote. Now, rebirth of the Roman Empire. Future manifesting of the Roman Empire that Daniel prophets will be confederation of 10 world leaders and will encompass the same territory as the historical Roman Empire. Today we see the coalition taking shape before our eyes. It began early as 1930 when French statesman Astaire Briand attempted to enlist 26 nations in what he first called the United States of Europe. Hey, Jason. And modified to European Union. In the proposal, he said the nation of Europe today must unite in order to live and prosper. The European press gives their idea a little attention and nothing come from it. But Astaire called the European unity was merely one world war ahead of the curve. Fewer than 20 years later, one of the world's most respected leaders issued the same call. In 1946, following the devastation of Europe during the Second World War, Winston Churchill forcefully asserts that the tragedy of the Europe could only be solved if the issue of ancient nationalism and sovereignty, the land, could give way to sense of European, of national grouping. He said that the path to European peace and prosperity on the world stage was clear. We must build a united of Europe. Churchill called initial a series of steps towards unification. The conference of 1948, held in Brussels, Belgium, laid the foundation for the new organization to unite European countries economic and political in order to secure the lasting peace. Only 3 nations attended the meeting: Netherlands, Luxembourg, and Belgium. Those nations saw unity as their only hope to survival in the post-war. And another step was taken in April 1951 when those 3 nations signed the Treaty of Paris with 3 additional nations, West Germany, France, and Italy, forming the common market of the coal and steel. In the Environment of Peace, March 25, 1957, saw a major step towards European unification when the Treaty of Rome was signed on the Capitoline Hill, one of the famous 7 hills of Rome. On this occasion, Italy, France, and West Germany joined Netherlands, Luxembourg, and Belgium, creating a European economic community, the common market. In 1973, United Kingdom, Ireland, and Denmark joined the EEC, and Greece was added in 1981, making the 10 nations confirmation on January 1st, 1986. For some reason, I can't talk right. Spain and Portugal came into the Union, and the EEC officially adopted the goal of politics on unified Europe. In 1987, a single European Act was implied. With the fall of Berlin Wall in 1989, Germany was unified, and East Germany was integrated into the membership in 1993. The economic borders between the nations of European community were removed from Austria. Finland, Sweden joined the Union in 1995. In 2002, 80 billion coins were produced for use in the nations of the Eurozone, including the new monetary unit, the euro. The march towards European unification continues. On May 1st, 2004, when Cyprus, Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, and Latvia, Malta, Poland, Slovakia were all added, being the total 25 nations and spanning EU population to suppress North America. As the world's biggest economic zone, Romania and Belgium were admitted to the EU. In 2007, Croatia joined in 2013, while the United Kingdom voted to exit in June 2016. Graduating yet sturdy, the nations of Europe have come together, creating the modern replica of Rome Empire. Europe is more inherited today than at any time. Since the days of ancient Rome, European Union is considered by many to be the second most powerful politics force in the world. Reinforcements of the European government. Currently, the EU government organized into three bodies: the European Parliament, the Council of Europe of Union, and the European Commission. The Parliament consists of 751 elected members who pass laws in conjunction with the Council. Its president is elected to serve 2.5-year term. Council consists of the heads of government of each of the member states. This body participates in Parliament is passing the laws that establish common foreign policies and security policies. Hey Mustang, how you doing? The third body of EU government and the European Commission consists of one commissioner of each EU country who drafted new laws and implement policies and funding. Other EU government titles include the Courts of Justice, the Courts of Auditor, and European Central Bank and the European Investment Bank. As we track those developments towards more centralized power among European nations, we can see the new empire in making an empire that occupies the same territory. As the ancient Roman Empire, turning back to Daniel for insight into the rising coalition, we are integrated by the description of its mixture of the two important materials. We know that iron represents the strength of old Roman Empire. In the newly concentrated empire, however, the prophecy tells us the iron will be mixed with clay. Clay speaks of weakness and stable. The best interpretation for unstable mixture is that represent the device, radical religion, and politics element will comprise this final form of the Roman Empire. While the EU has great economic and politics, thought and culture and language, its various countries are so divided that it cannot hold together any more than one ironclad unless unity imposed and enforced by extreme powerful leaders. Renew vengeance. From this belief, study of modern European and ancient Rome, we can begin to understand how Europe represents the key sign of the end of the times. Three things in particular emerge from our study. It shows that vengeance. Okay, page man. The constellation of the world. Power. Since the time of the Roman Empire, there has been no nation or empire with the power given to known world. But it is coming in the future. The world will be unified under one leader. In Daniel's second version, the fourth beast had 10 horns growing from its head. The fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom on earth, which shall devote to the world's earth, trample it, and break it in pieces. The 10 horns are 10 kings, who shall raise from the kingdom. The fourth beast represents the fourth successor of the kingdom. After Babylon, which history identifies as Rome Empire, but since Rome was never ruled similarly by 10 kings, we know that those kings are yet to arrive and stage of the world history to rule a newly formed empire that overlays the territory of ancient Rome Empire. Today, the concentration of the power in the European Union signals the beginning of the new world order. Oh, sure. Uh, hold on. I gotta get to it first. Where are you guys? Oh, hold, hold on. I don't see on my screen. Okay, your moderators. Okay, so by the Rome has never ruled, simulating by 10 kings, we know that those kings are yet to arrive and on the stage of world history and form an empire that overlay the territory of ancient Rome Empire. Today, the concentration of power of the European Union signals the beginning of the new world order, coming of one world leader. According to Daniel prophecy, a supreme leader will arise from among the 10 leaders, confidence in Europe. Another shall raise them, and he shall be different from the first ones, and shall subdue 3 kings. He shall speak pompous words against the Most High, and shall pursue the saint of Most High, and intend to change times and laws. Then the saint shall be given into his hand for the time and time and a half of time. The leaders will emerge from the group of the 10 to take control over Europe coalition and become final world dictator. We know him as the Antichrist. We must not miss the point. The early in, uh, European Union is protrude to becoming of the Antichrist. Paul Henry Spaak, first president of European Parliament, is credited with making this stunning statement. We do not need another committee. We have too many already. What we want is a man of satisfaction structure to hold alliance of all people and to lift us out of the economic mess into which we are sinking. Send us such a man to be he, God, or the devil. We will receive him. Statement such of this should be killed, which to the bone. It shows that the world will actually embrace the power that will seek to enslave it. The European Union is constantly waiting to spark of the Antichrist, inflame the world with unperceived evil. It is certainly the time of vengeance. The conditions of the treaty with Israel. Daniel properly tells us of the treaty that will sign between the Jewish people and the leader of the relying Roman Empire. He shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, but in the middle of that week shall be the end of sacrifice of offering. Israel will sign a treaty with Antichrist, and the treaty will be forged or last for a week in the prophecy language. A week of years, or 7 years. This treaty will be intent settle. They arrived in Israel, controversy. After 3.5 years, the treaty will be broken. The countdown Armageddon will begin. Reading the warning signs. The stage is now set. Europe for those events to occur. Israel is back in her land. Nations of ancient Roman Empire are unifying Daniel's prophecy. How? Show us that the hands of the prophet clock are moving towards midnight. The warning has been sound, and we do not well heed. We need to well heed it. As the prophet clock moves towards that final strike, we must not wait until it's too late to move in harm's way. The nomination of Paul should spur us to the action. It is high time to wake out of the sleep, for now our salvation is near the end. We first believe. Today, headlines shows the wisdom of Paul's warnings. It is the time for us a sign from Daniel. Prophecy shows us things that are coming to ahead. Events are moving us towards the moment when warnings will be too late, and we will be caught in the firestorm of the great evil that will trouble the world before Christ finally returns and to set things right. Are you heeding the warning? Are you prepared to stand before God? Have you accepted his offer of salvation? He's telling us by the event that surrounds us that the window of opportunity will soon be gone. Please do not wait until it is too late. Russia, Chapter 3. Russian President Putin steps into the swaying deck of miniature submarines. He squeezes inside the capsule, and the craft descends into the Black Seas. And the purpose of Putin's execution, people were told, was to view the wreckage of the ancient ship, but it soon became clear that archaeology was the last thing Putin had in mind. The craft leveled out and moved towards the Crimson coastline, city Stockholm. Its surface near and waiting yacht, which speeds towards Russian president to the seaport and deposit him onto the Crimson soil. Crimea. On August 2015, less than 18 months after Russia seized the Crimea Peninsula for its parent nation, Ukraine, at the time of the takeover, Ukraine had been making overtures to the West that with the possibility of joining the EU to prevent such move, which will impede Putin's ambitions for a reunited Soviet bloc. He had not only annexed Crimea, but also unify eastern Ukraine and Russia soldiers. He proposed was to stir the nation already reeling from the politics turmoil into chaos. It was his way of saying Crimea is Russian territory. I don't need to invitation. I can come here anytime I want in any way I want. Moments after Putin landed on Sevastopol, BBC reported the question the legitimacy of the takeover. Putin replied, the future of Crimea was determined by the people who live on this island. They voted to be united with Russia, that it's given Putin history, aggressive takeover, and hard-nosed attitude. It's not surprising. He began the career in the Russian KGB officer in 1975 when Russia was ruling the nation under the USSR, Union of the Soviet Social Republic, and around the globe for its massive nuclear armaments and treaties of the commitment takeover. Putin retired from the KGB in 1991 and entered politics, raising the power under Boris Yeltsin administration. When Yeltsin resigned in December 1999, Putin became acting president. He was officially elected in March 2000 and subsequently held the office for president 2000 to 2008 and prime minister 2008 to 2012 before being elected as president again in 2012 and elected another term in 2018. At the midpoint, the Putin raised the power. President Ronald Reagan policy brought down the Soviet Union. Threat without firing a shot. The fall of communism and deterioration of the USSR must have been a bitter blow to ambitious young politicians. Many believe that from that moment on, Putin had been driven to determination restore Russia to its former glory. Russians awakening. Many of us remember the Cold War between Russia and the United States, which lasted from 1948 to 1991. During the period, the possibility of a nuclear war loomed over the world like a dark cloud. But the fear of moderated United States military mighty and strong Western alliance, now its embrace of American will and the collapse of order. In the middle, what will keep the world-old nemesis of Russia from rising again? It appears Putin realized this is his moment, opportunity, and taking advantage of it. Under his leadership, Russia has become increasingly aggressive on the world stage and increasingly dangerous. In March of 2018, former Russian spy named Sergei was found on a park bench in Great Britain. His 33-year-old daughter was found next to him. Both had been poisoned by nerve agents, and both of them were hospitalized for the weeks before being moved to the secure location. British police later connected the attack with a similar poisoning involving a woman named Dawn Sturgis with her partner, Charlie Rowley. Miss Sturgis did not survive the attack, having been exposed to a nerve agent after handling a commitment perfume dispenser. After exclusive investigation, British intelligence identified two men as primary suspects in both attacks, both thought to be the members of the GRU, which is Russian Military Intelligence Services. Now, British Prime Minister Theresa May said the attack were almost certainly directed by the senior member of Russian government. Putin obviously wanted to recognize the world leader of the world power, where all his ambitions led. As much as we like to think Putin manipulates mere reflection and annex of over-searching dreamers, we have good reason to believe Russia's threat is real. In fact, we have evidence that the same point Russia will ignite world war like no other. Russia's aggressive moves today cast along the shadow into the future, described by the prophet Ezekiel. Well, I'm going to stop there. But Russia will beginning next to start attacking, since they support Iran. So, and like the news said, Iran has surgeons here in the United States. They can do more damage here in the United States. We don't know who they are, but we have to be on alert everywhere we go. We don't know who's going to blow up a bridge or whatever, but we have to watch our side. World War III has started after we bomb Iran. So, you're welcome, Mustang. So, be on the lookout, since they're attacking our bases over there, and they could get their surgeons here somewhere. So, goodbye now. Stay safe.